pretty much a common problem that occurs with a lot of people when they start swinging kettlebells for the first time, and it's understanding how to really get deep into your hinge, or to really wedge into your hinge. Now, the best analogy that I can give you, or the best tip that I can give you, is you want to make sure that the kettlebell is as close to your midline as possible. So if we can all agree, if you're watching me, that this is a hinge. Definitely, right? I'm hinging at my hips. We've got a vertical shin angle, and there's maximum flexion at my hip, minimal flexion at my knee. But if you take a look at, if I were to bring my hands down, you take a look at where the weight would be in relation to my hinge point, which is my hips, you'll see that it's pretty far away. And so there's a lot of core control and a lot of strength that is involved with being able to hold myself in this position if I'm only hinging this far. Okay, so that's a big problem, and the big mistake with that is that we're not able to get a lot of our hamstrings involved in terms of being able to really draw back and use that elastic energy, that slingshot energy that our hamstrings can provide. So in fact, what you want to be doing when you're swinging your kettlebell is getting deeper into your hinge by driving your butt as far back as you can. So you can see how much more powerful this type of hinge would be, because my rear end is all the way back. And now if I take my hands, which would be holding the weight, down towards the floor there, you can see how close it is, or how much closer it is to that hinge point and to my shins. So further away from my shins is going to bring a lot of strain on my back because it's away from the center of gravity. If I draw my hamstrings back or push my glutes back a little bit more, then you can see the difference. Now this is still a hinge, it's not a squat. I'm just maximally hinging at my hip and adding a little bit more knee flexion by bringing my rear end back. So the best analogy that I can give you is if I were to take my elastic band or my stretch band right here and just pull it back a little bit, I'm not really drawing my glutes back, right? My hamstrings aren't really involved, and I don't really get a lot of elastic energy, right? It comes back, it snaps back, but it's not as hard. Now, if you think about taking this band, which would be your hamstrings, and drawing it all the way back, think about how much more potential or elastic energy you've got in your hamstrings when you draw your butt back. Well, when you draw back and bring your butt all the way back, that's exactly what's happening to your hamstrings. You're getting a deeper stretch, a lot more explosive in your hamstrings by drawing your butt back. So you'll get a reaction like that, which is a lot more explosive. So that's what you really want to focus on when you're doing your kettlebell swings, is being able to draw your butt back as far as you can without losing the integrity of the movement. So your shoulders still have to stay above your hips, and your back still has to stay braced, or your abs still have to stay braced so that you stay in neutral. But instead of just hinging at your hips and not getting much out of it, you're going to draw back and really get that elastic energy. So that's one of the things you really should be focusing on, not only when you're doing your kettlebell swings, but when you're deadlifting or when you're doing any type of hinge work. Get as much of the elastic energy as you can by drawing your butt back. All right, I'm Chris Lopez, kettlebellworkouts.com, and that's your kettlebell tip for today.